Toka wapi? Do you even speak Swahili?
Yeah, I do. I speak Swahili. I speak very good Kikuyu.
Okay.
I grew up in Kiambu.
No boyfriends, no nothing, no love letters. I'm focused.
Oh no, I had boyfriends in high school.
Eh.
No, I had boyfriends.
Boyfriends,
yeah. I don't like guests at my place, hardly ever.
Really?
Yeah. I prefer we meet...
How the deluded are fallen. Now, this is a 40-year-old, a 40-plus-year-old woman who's had 2 failed relationships. She fumbled a governor for a washed-up hip-hop artist. Point of correction, Julian is not washed up. Kwanza, I think Julian is number 1 big fan, manze. Julian is the big deal, all right? Julian is a big deal. Okay, so she fumbled 2 high-profile relationships, and now she's an old single mother, going out on podcasts, making videos, Instagram videos. If this is not the definition of midlife crisis, I don't know what is. Then again, I think midlife crisis, you go through it when you're 30. This must be old life crisis. When you're 40 and above, you should be settled with a family. Unajua, I think these people have been lied to by Hollywood. This even brings me back to someone like Catherine Kamau and the guy that she's currently dating. If you look at the guy that she's dating, he's a very handsome dude, very good looking dude, no homo. He's very well off. He's got money. He can get any woman that he wants. He can get any girl that he wants. He can get a very, very young girl. Nowadays we don't call them virgin, but he can get a very, very young girl, msichana mwenye hana mtoto, because unajua we are living in the era where msichana yote mwenye ana mtoto is equated to a virgin. Back in the days, you know, purity, a woman's purity was associated with her being a virgin. Unfortunately or fortunately nowadays, a woman's purity is associated with her not having kids. Unaget? So this guy that is dating Catherine Kamau, this guy could have gotten any girl that he wanted, any beautiful, young, decent girl that he wanted, and started a family with her. But he started dating a woman who was already married with a child from another relationship. Okay, I can't really fault her for getting pregnant when she was still in high school, adolescence and whatnot. So hiyo tuseme tu ni makosa ya mzazi, unaget. So with her first child, wacha tuseme hapo hakuna nini, tusimwekelee makosa sana, but then again we still have to throw it in this argument. So this guy started dating a woman who was already in a relationship, and not just a relationship, who was already in a marriage. We call that adultery here. All right? Now, not only was this woman in a marriage, this woman had a child from a different man in this marriage that she was in. Okay? Now, any decent man would go like, that's a red flag, regardless of the circumstances. That's a red flag. God has already been gracious to you enough to give you a husband, even with you having a child from a different man. God has been gracious to you enough to give you a husband. And now you want to get out of this relationship and start a new one? And it doesn't end there. Oh, wait, there's more. This married woman not only has a child from a different man, she also has another child for this man that she's currently married to. All right? Now, this is psychopathic behavior, if you ask me. In this case, I wouldn't lean so much on pointing fingers at Catherine Kamau. I'd lean more towards analyzing the character and the type of person that this man she's dating is. This is a psychopath, ladies and gentlemen. This is a man capable of killing another human being. And I stand to be corrected. All right? So, not only is this married woman with a child from a different man, she also has another child for the man that she's currently married to. And you go like, with your good looks and with your money, you go like, oh shit, you know, let me not go for any childless, young, beautiful damsel to build a future with her. No, let me go for this old, and I say old with all due respect, Miss Catherine Kamau, this old woman in a relationship with 2 kids. Sorry, this old woman in a marriage with 2 kids, from different fathers. This is the one I want. This is the one that I want to date. This is the one that I want to start a new life with. You know? And this man, mark you, you know, it's very different if they like had an affair and she never got divorced. We can just leave it at adultery. All right? Now, with things like those, Jesus can save. Okay? With things like those, Jesus can save. All right? But not only are you committing adultery with this woman, you let her go through the whole process of divorcing this man who took her in with a child from a different man, build an empire with her, got a baby from her. You let this woman get divorced to this man. To do what exactly? Months down the line, is it a few years down the line, you haven't married this woman yet? And clearly you're not going to marry this woman. And even if you marry this woman, it's going to end in a divorce. I fail to understand, which leads me to that conclusion that we are dealing with a psychopath here, ladies and gentlemen. We are dealing with a psychopath. This is the psychopathic behavior. Now let's get back to Lilian Ng'ang'a. Women like Lilian Ng'ang'a and the likes of Betty Kialo and Catherine Kamau need to come together. 3 is the number of God. They need to go to a mountain and fast, dry fasting for 40 days and 40 nights without food and without water. Because some things only God can forgive. Have you heard that song from Keisha called Praying? I hope you're somewhere praying. I'm working on the ninim. Leo kunanyesha, so I'm a little bit down on the weather. That's why my vocals are not like that's why my vocals are not are not there yet. It's because I've woken a little bit under the weather, cause of the weather. But you get women like Lilian Ng'ang'a and the likes of Betty Kialo and Catherine Kamau need to come together, go to the mountain, fast for 40 days and 40 nights, dry fasting, no food, no water. Because they need Jesus, they need deliverance, they need help. They need help. You get? Because there's just no way you can fumble a good thing that is going on in your life. For Lilian Ng'ang'a, I can understand her leaving her husband for a much younger, much more fertile ghetto youth who could inseminate her and get a baby out of her. I can understand, you know, because of course she's at that age where she clearly did need a baby, and maybe the governor was shooting blanks, right? But then again, why would you fumble this relationship? Speaking of this relationship, Juliani na anakuwaga na nyota ya Mlima Babes bana. Sio Brenda Wairimu, sio Lilian Ng'ang'a. how the deluded are fallen.
Outside, outdoors, have lunch, have a good time, and then kila mtu aende kwake. I like a man who comes home early.
But now the times have changed.
They have changed. I'm telling you, I struggle. So a man coming home late, I struggle a lot with that. Yeah.
She likes a man who comes home early. Yo, bro. That's what I'm saying. These women need Jesus. They honestly need Jesus Christ. They need prayer. You can't you wanasemangaje, you can't cash in what you can't check out, ama? Yeah, don't go around cashing in what you can't check out, bana. Don't go around cashing in what you can't check out.
People don't know who I am. And it's none of their business to know who I am.
Wow.
But I think I've been boxed.
First of all, a 40-year-old plus woman dressing like this is not right in any way whatsoever. We need to bring back shame. When I get all this woke nonsense, all this, please do not misconstrue women empowerment for this kind of nonsense, bro. Unajua, men are wired in a way that if men sleep around with I'm not saying she's dressed like this because she sleeps around with different women. I'm just trying to say, let's bring back shame. Because men are wired in a way that we can sleep with 1 million women and it will make us feel not better about ourselves, but it will give us some sense of achievement. A bang and gonga case in point. Women, on the other hand, regardless of how woke they try to convince themselves that they are, regardless of how empowered that they might try to convince themselves they are, if you go sleeping around with different men, by the time you sleep with your 5th man, wewe mwenyewe, you'll start feeling worthless. You'll start feeling dirty. Don't blame me. Don't blame society, bana. That's just how God created us. Women are created to be symbols of purity. Men, on the other hand, are just created to be men. Rowdy, rough, violent, rough. It is the purity and the softness of a woman that, is supposed to ground men in accordance to the grand scheme of nature. All right? So as a woman, you can claim to be as woke, you can be claimed as to be as empowered as you are, but by the time you're sleeping with your 5th man, you start to feel dirty, you start to feel worthless. And the more you sleep with more men, and by the time sasa you start feeling useless and worthless, that's why you start to sleep with you start sleeping with even more men for validation. And sasa, because it's an evil spirit that has gotten to you, sasa you have to satisfy that demon. Women are not created to be promiscuous. It is not even men who will judge you much more harshly for being loose. It is fellow women. Because a woman that has only been with 2 men in her life, when she encounters a woman who goes on live TV, or rather on the internet, and says she's been with 27 women sexually, she's like, yo, even her kinesh itches. Even her Even have a JJ itches, bro. It is like cringe. It is like when you feel cringe on behalf of somebody. Because women are not meant, in the grand scheme of nature, women are not meant to be promiscuous. Women are not meant to and not just promiscuous. Women are not created to play the kind of games that men play. That's why, for instance, if you have a girlfriend and you hear that maybe she's gone out on a date with a different man, that is grounds for separation. She loses her worth in your eyes. You no longer see her worth. You no longer see her worthy. Una get. You start thinking of her as you're going to get like another clean woman who's not moving around with men. It's not society, bro. It's God. It's the way God created things. If you don't believe in God, then it's nature, bro. It's nature. Mademu wajiheshimu. Uko fulani one song, mademu wajiheshimu. Mademu nawapa elimu. Mademu wajiheshimu. Ladies out there, if you want men to respect you, if you want men to put value on you, respect yourself. A man will give you the moon, inaitangwaje, the moon and the stars and the entire world, if you respect yourself. Yes, a man might cheat, but a man will never put the woman that he's cheating with on a pedestal. But that woman in his life that has respected herself, he will elevate. Unaona? If you want respect from men, it's just simple. Respect yourself. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her. My only regret was too young for Julie Gishuru. Hey, bro, bruv. We still have high value women, bana. Women like Julie Gishuru. Shit. And then, unajua, one thing with a woman, if you undervalue yourself so much, you get to a point even useless men don't respect you. If you undervalue yourself as a man, as a woman, you get to a point even useless men don't value you.
Into a certain box. So I have tried and I will win to get out of that box. The box of you just a pretty girl, you've been through this, so you have nothing to say. An example I'd give you, I made a comment, I gave an opinion about politics in the country, probably like 2 weeks ago, and I was attacked, but the good thing with Twitter.
One thing I have to give Lilian Ng'ang'a is that she's very articulate. She's very articulate. She knows how to communicate. She knows how to communicate a point. She knows how to bring a point home. It's sad and unfortunate. I mean, as a woman, when you're dating a governor, bana, I mean, what else do you want? As much as magavana wetu ni mafala, ni wajinga na ni wezi, politicians wetu in general, but I mean, like if you are, but basically in terms of societal structure, that's a high value man. I can get if you want a kid and nini, and maybe the governor doesn't want. There's so many things you can try, artificial insemination, nini. Well, for her situation with the governor, I can speak of, but Julian is also a high value man. Why was it difficult? As a woman, sometimes you get to a point where you have to like ask yourself, if you've been in 2 high profile relationships, of which all and where from one of this relationship you even have a child, you might need to start coming to the realization that maybe the problem is you and not the man that you're dating. Because men will always be men. Men will always be men. Mademu wajiheshimu. That's all I'm saying.